Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, I'm Sana Nazir and it's the third lecture of English 4. Today we are going to talk about written text. Written text can be of any kind, like it can be of paragraph form, in any essay form. So it depends on the writer what kind of text he's going to write. It can be of any type, like essay, paragraph, or any other thing. So first of all, as example, we'll talk about essay writing. This is the outline. First of all, we will discuss about that what is essay writing. After that, we will discuss about what is the format of an essay. Then, what are the types of essay writing. What is essay writing? An essay is generally a piece of writing that gives the author's own argument. A formal essay is a piece of writing that informs or persuades its audience, and it has been derived from the French word essayer, which means to attempt or to try. So basically, what is essay? It's a process in which we write different statements, and that statement gives author's argument. Like if any author who's going to write an essay, that author is going to write that essay in his own style. The way he expressed the thing, that would be his own choice. And the basic purpose of essay writing is always to inform or to persuade its audience. To inform, in a sense, you're going to deliver all kind of information to your audience, or you're going to tell them different things. That means you're going to describe all new things to your audience. So if we talk about the meaning of essay, it's a word essayer, that's a word of French language, and in that language it means to attempt or to try. So we always try to or to attempt to persuade our audience. So the basic purpose of audience or author is just to inform or to try or to attempt to tell their readers about anything. It can be of any kind of information. So the basic purpose of essay is to persuade or to inform. It is a short form of literary composition based on a single subject matter and often give the personal opinion of the author. So in an essay, we always focus on the single subject. We don't need to involve different subjects in one thing. If we like to add about different things, then we can add different kinds of essay. But if we want to focus on a single subject, then we have to write a single essay in which any writer can give his own personal point of view, or they can give their honesty. In some countries like United States and Canada, essay have become a major part of formal education. How and why? Let's talk about this first. Secondary students are taught structured essays formats to improve their writing skills. Yes, how this essay writing can be helpful? It can improve your writing skills through writing different kinds of essay. You can improve your writing skill. You can write about different kinds of essays, different things, and especially you can write about different things in your own words. So that's the most special thing about essay writing. Admissions essay are often used by universities in selecting applicants, because when they are going to write any kind of essay, so through those writing skills they just select different applicants. And in humanities and in social sciences, essays are often used as a way of assessing the performance of students during final exams, because during final exam, if they're going to write the essays, it means that they have a good performance or bad performance. It depends on their writing style basically. So the best way of judging or to assess any student, you can assess them how you can check their writing skills, so that if that student is good in writing, it means that they have great writing skills. Let's talk about some different kinds of essay. We have descriptive essay, narrative essay, analytical essay, and argumentative essay. First of all, let's discuss that what is the basic difference between these four kinds. If we talk about descriptive essay, descriptive means you are going to describe anything. So how you can describe anything? For example, if you have to describe about any author or any personality, so you will describe about anything. If you are going to describe any object, then you will describe about anything. If you talk about narrative essay, that's in a form of story. You are going to tell about anything but in a form of story. Analytical, you are going to analyze something, you are going to write a detailed view of that thing, so that would be analytical essay. Argumentative, if you are going to convince someone for something, so this is the best way to write the essay, that would be argumentative essay, in which you can give your own arguments about something and suggest them to have the best choice for them. Let's talk about the details of this essay. First of all, descriptive essay. What is descriptive essay? A descriptive essay is a short paper which is all about describing or summarizing a topic. As I said, you're going to describe something. So a descriptive essay is a form of essay that describes something. This is exactly what it's talking about. So you can describe something in your own way or by following any format, that's your choice. But to describe, descriptive means to describe or to summarize something. So it depends on you what you need to describe, any personality, any object, any issue, any problem, but you're going to describe that thing. Okay, qualities of descriptive essay. What are the qualities of descriptive essay? First one, clear and concise. You cannot be unclear in that, or you cannot be talk in a difficult way. You have to be clear and concise. Use of images. How you can use of images? You can just make different images in your mind or create images in your mind just to have a clear image. But if you want to use different, for example, if you're going to tell about any place, so for that you have to use different images just to make your audience clear. This third one is use of five senses. How you can use five senses in descriptive essay? For example, the basic purpose of author is to create an image in the reader's mind, whatever they're going to write. For instance, if you're going to tell about the first day of your college, so you will tell the first day of your college, the details of first day of your college, but the person who is reading that essay, the picture of that first day will be created in their minds. So this is how you can create a picture in reader's mind. Even they can feel that thing, even they can touch that thing or smell that thing. Okay, writing an effective essay that is descriptive, you must follow these things. And what are the things which you have to follow? Provide complete and intense description of the subject. If you are going to discuss anything that is not relevant, that can bore your audience, or that would not be good for your essay. So always provide the complete information or description of the subject. If you are going to focus on one subject, then you have to give each and every detail of that subject in your essay. If you are going to leave any element that is untouched, so it means that you are going to leave a question in your reader's mind. So make sure whatever you are going to discuss, your reader must be aware of every single element about that thing. Second thing, that is involve even the tiniest details if they are significantly important. Yes, first of all, remember one thing, that you don't need to discuss any irrelevant thing, and secondly, you have to add even the tiniest detail of that important thing. Why? Because if you are going to add that details, that will strengthen your essay. Show your own response and impression about the subject. What do you think about that thing, and what are your suggestions about that thing? You have to add that. Avoid irrelevant elements. For example, if you're going to talk about any author, so you don't need to tell about any other thing. You have to focus on the biography of that writer. Instead of writing other irrelevant thing, you have to focus on only one element or only one subject. That would be the subject of that essay. Observe every single aspect step by step. This is the same thing like even tiniest example you should detail, you should add. So in the same way you have to add every single aspect step by step. First of all, the thing which you think that this is the most important thing to discuss, so discuss that thing in a first row and then in a second or in a third. So make sure that you have divided your essay in different paragraphs, and in every paragraph you have discussed a relevant and most important thing, but the most important thing comes first. Okay, now we are going to talk about the structure of essay. So what is the structure basically? First of all, introduction. This part is supposed to explain why the author has chosen a specific object or person. Introduction comprises a strong thesis statement and must captivate reader's attention from the first lines. If your first line of introduction is clear and interesting, then the reader is going to read the whole essay. But if your introduction is not good, if your introduction is boring, then nobody is going to read your essay. So make sure, either you're going to write any like report, any research work, anything, whatever you're going to write, make sure that the start of your writing is most effective, most relevant and most interesting, so that the reader would be able to read the whole essay or anything. Because if you will make things interesting, then the reader will take interest in your writing. So this is the first thing, introduction, that why you have choose this topic and what are you going to talk about. Then body. Here the author pays more detailed attention to the main points. Now in the introduction you just have give a short introduction about that, but in the body of your essay you have to give the detailed overview about everything. As a rule, each point is considered and discussed in a separate section. For example, if you have 2 to 3 points to discuss, so what you will do, you will divide all those parts, main points, in 3 parts. For instance, if you have 3 points to discuss, if you have 4 points to discuss, then you have to divide your body's portion into 3 to 4 parts. So it depends on the points, how much points you are going to discuss. Then discuss all those points one by one, but separate paragraph, so that it can clear your reader that how many issues you have discussed there and in which way you have discussed all those issues. And usually the body consists of only 3 paragraphs, but if you have more than 3 paragraphs, then you can divide them in more than 3 paragraphs. Okay, then the first paragraph. Now what you are going to discuss in the first paragraph. The first paragraph tells the reader about the object itself, its characteristics and the most distinguishing features. It gives a full and vivid picture through the smallest details of observation. So what you have to do is, in the first paragraph, what you are going to do in that paragraph, you have a single object, then discuss it, its characteristics, its details, create the full picture in your mind, even add the tiniest detail, the smallest detail in that paragraph. Then what you will do next, in the second paragraph, that portrays surroundings. In this section you are free to use as many stylistic devices as you want. Stylistic devices means any grammatical structure, its vivid picture of that discussion. Your reader must feel the atmosphere of the environment you describe. In a simple words, you can say that the reader feels himself in the same environment in which about which you are talking. Then the third refers to senses and emotions. You describe everything you can feel, hear, see, touch and smell. Your task is to make a picture alive. Even the reader feels himself in the same environment. So the conclusion, you will conclude that thing, sum up your points again, and then conclude that discussion which was the basic thing to discuss. Then the second type of paragraph, that is narrative essay. So what is narrative essay? Narrative means in a form of story. Since a narrative relies on personal experiences. For example, an experience which you have faced or feel or experienced, so you want to discuss that experience, so you will write an essay like a visit to Hunza Valley. So that was your experience of Hunza Valley, so you have to write that experience, and you want to tell everything about that tour. So what you will do, you will write a essay, a visit to Hunza Valley. So in that Hunza Valley tour of Hunza Valley, you will tell about everything. I went there, I was having a great experience there, I was having an amazing time there, and I explored a lot of places, new places and beautiful places in Pakistan. So you will tell each thing, but in a form of story. When the writer uses this technique, he or she must be sure to include all conventions of storytelling: plot, characters, setting, climax and ending. For example, how you planned that trip, that would be in a form of plot. Characters, how many people were there with you, and with whom you were doing, and who was there to give you different kind of services, and who was there to serve different things. And then how you were spending your time, any interesting thing that you have experienced there, and then how your tour ends. So these all are the things which you will include in your essay, that is narrative essay. This is the following structure is the basic structure of any narrative essay, because you have to follow these all things to write a perfect essay for yourself. First of all, introduction, then plot, characters, climax, setting, and then conclusion. So these are the basic things which you have to follow for the description of your narrative essay. Okay, to summarize a narrative essay, what you have to do is you have to describe that essay from a particular point of view. You don't need to give any other's argument. You have to write it in your own way, in your own style. So what you will do, you will have to write it in a particular point of view. And if you have discussed anything, then you have to support that point, so that your reader must be clear about that, and give each kind of details, and that detail should be relevant. Don't discuss any irrelevant thing or bore your audience. Then use conflict and sequences add any story. For example, if you want to for instance, if you have started telling anything about your tour, and before discussing the start you have discussed your ending, it means that you haven't followed the sequence or the structure conflict of that essay. So make sure the most important thing comes first. So first of all, how you plan that trip, how it goes, and how was the whole tour, and how many participants were there. You can use all these tricks so you can have a good essay. Then you may use any dialogues, or now you can see the examples here that are of narrative essay, like first day at college, the moment of success, and memorable journey. If I already have given example of first day at college, the moment of success. So if you want to write an essay on this topic, so what you will do, how you faced that moment, and for that moment what you have done, what was the journey, and what were the effort, and who was supporting you. So you will tell all the things to just write this kind of essay. If you talk about a memorable journey, just like I have given example, a visit to Hunza Valley or any visit, so this would be the perfect example of this essay. So this was today's discussion. We have discussed two kinds of essay today, that was descriptive and narrative. Let's have a quick overview that what we have discussed today. Today we will discuss about written text, and it would be of essay writing. So this was the outline. We have discussed these following things. First of all, we have discussed about essay writing, that it's a word that has been derived from a French language essayer, and it means to attempt or to try, and its purpose is to inform or to persuade the audience. Then we have discussed four kinds of essay, but in a detail we have discussed only two, that are descriptive. It's a kind of essay that is in a form of story, or it's has following structure: introduction, body, first paragraph, second, third, and then conclusion. Narrative essay that has the same structure. Narrative has also introduction, body, and conclusion, and it's a essay that is related to a personal experience of life, and that would be in the form of story. And this was the following pattern which you have to follow in any essay writing. This was all from today's discussion. If you have any confusion, you're most welcome in the discussion room. You may ask there. I'm always there to answer your all questions. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.